Valencia Football Club. Be sure to subscribe for the latest news, match recaps, as well as match predictions about our favorite club, as well as La Liga news in general. So, what a season it's been for Valencia Football Club, one we definitely want to forget. But it looks like we will not be getting relegated this year. We've crossed the magical 40-point threshold, and according to a website that I checked, we have about a 1% chance of being relegated. So, barring any type of catastrophic result over the last 2 weeks, we will be playing in the Primera Division, which is a good thing for all of us Valencia fans, right? We want our team to be at the top. We want to be competing for all the trophies, and you can't do that from the second division. So, that's the one positive we can take out, and I think that we have a bright future moving forward. So, which players should we keep? Which players should we sell on? Obviously, we'd like to keep them all and have some depth, but that's just not realistic at this point in our club. So, the first player we're going to start with is probably the most obvious player, in my opinion. It's going to be Mamadashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper. We actually bought him for 800,000 euros. Today, he's worth 20 to 30 million euros. What a signing he's been. Absolute incredible player. And I think we should build our team around him in the defense in general. We've had one of the best defenses all year, and I see no reason to change that up. We need to improve our offense, and if we can keep our defense the same, we're going to have a bright future next year. Next on to Diakabe. Diakabe kind of fits in the same mold as Mamadashvili. Diakabe was a player that most people didn't like coming into the season. Most people wanted to get Diakabe out of here. I probably was one of them as well, but he's had a phenomenal season. Probably our best player this year. Solid defender at the back, and I think he's been a key. He's had some key moments in offense too, but he's been a key player and a reason why we've been able to avoid relegation this year. So Diakabe has to stay moving forward. The next two players kind of fit in one category together, defensive midfielders. So I'm going to start with Yunus Musa, obviously our most well-known player. He's a 20-year-old U.S. men's national team player, and he really plays as a box-to-box midfielder. He gets up and down the field, very athletic, but he has very little end product. He never has assists, he never has goals, and he's actually rumored to go to clubs like Manchester United and Liverpool. Those clubs are flush with cash. If we can get 20 to 30 million euros for Yunus Musa, I think we absolutely take that. The player I think that we can have step into Musa's position is Guilloman. Hugo started with Valencia. He came off a very hot start. At one point, he was probably one of the top prospects in Spain. He had a bit of a cooler season this year, especially over the last couple of weeks where he's been replaced. But I think that Hugo is definitely a player who can be that defensive midfielder for us over the next 10 years, and I want to see him get some more opportunities next season. The next player is probably our most famous player, and that's Edison Cavani. I think we all had some real hope when Edison Cavani came in. Obviously, the man is an absolute icon of the game. He just hasn't had it this year. He had a great start, but he's been kind of dead since then. And I think a lot of this isn't on him. I think a lot of it's the service that he's been receiving. It's tough to score goals when you're not getting service at 36 years old. I think we keep him on for a couple reasons. We can't sell him because of his age, and he provides a great level of leadership that can actually help our team win some games next year. Moving on to another veteran, Gabriel Paulista. He's been injured this year. He's had a couple up and down seasons. I think it's time to move on for Paulista. Not that he's worse than anybody we have on defense. I just think that our future lies in other players' hands. So move on from Paulista. If we can get a couple million euros for him, great. If not, I think we just move him on to get some more time for our youth talent. We do have some great youth talent coming through, and the more experience they can get, the better for our club moving forward because we're not going to be challenging for titles over the next year or two. Again, the next two players, they kind of fit in the same category, and it's kind of an either or for me. And the first one here is Justin Kluivert. He's obviously on loan. He's been playing on the wing for us, left and right, but primarily on the left. He's had 7 goals this year, and I'm a little surprised by that. I feel like he hasn't been quite as good as those numbers suggest. I would actually say not to renew this man. I don't think, or not even renew him, bring him back on a permanent basis. I don't think he's worth it, and I don't think we can afford to take a player like him on the books if he's not going to be extremely productive. But the player I would invest in is Samuel Lino. Lino has looked electric at times. Honestly, one of our most dangerous players I've seen in a while, and I would use that Yunus Musa money and get this player in. I can see him going to Atletico Madrid next year and basically tearing the league apart with some better service, and that would make Valencia look even worse than we already do. So he's the one player I would really prioritize this year. Next up is probably the most controversial pick of the lot. It's Jose Gaya. I would let Jose Gaya go. Jose Gaya is our captain and a Valencia legend, but left back, let's be real, it's not one of the most important positions on the team, and he's one of the few players we can sell on for 20 to 30 million euros. And that's money that we can spend on a more important position like striker. So I would sell him on. We have some great backups in Jose Vasquez. I think Jose Vasquez really is one for the future. And another player here, Tony Lato. This one pains me to say. He's a Valencia kid, born and raised. He loves the club. He's just not Valencia quality, especially for where we're aiming to be as a club. I don't think he has it, and it's not due to a lack of effort. I don't think that he brings much to the club. I mean, we can sell him on for 1 or 2 million euros. I'll take it, take his wages off the books, and allow another youngster to come in and give their shot. And lastly, Terry Correa. Terry Correa is actually a player I would keep. We brought him in as one of the last big signings of the club for 20 million euros, if you can believe it or not. He obviously hasn't lived up to that signing, especially for us now. 20 million euro signing is massive for us where we stand. So he hasn't lived up to it, but I think he has some potential. He's a very pacey player. He brings athleticism. He's not afraid to take players on dribbles. He'll go on runs. He can cross the ball in, and I think that there is a future for him there right back for us. And I don't want to spend another 10 million to replace him. So I think he's a fine enough player there, and I think that one we can have for the future. But let me know, guys, what other players do you want to see us keep? What other players do you want to see us sell on? Forever, Amunt Valencia, and I hope we have a better season next year.